From the lighter side of pest control, this is the Tales from the Crawlspace Ask Us Anything episode.
Ooh-wee, this is going to be a good one. Hey guys, welcome back to another titillating episode of Tales from the Crawlspace. With me, as always, is the lovely and personable Jack Starry. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, my friend. How are you?
Oh, man, it's illegal how good I am. And
it is a red letter day.
I mean that on several different levels. It's gonna be a great show. I had a great day today. I did what I believe was the perfect termite treatment today.
Oh,
and it was probably the most incredible. You go in, the ground, the soil that I had to trench was soft. The slabs that I had to drill were few. The deck that I had to deal with already had two boards closest to the house pulled off of it for reasons I have no idea why.
Fucking love that.
And the air conditioner that was up against the fence of the neighbor was something that I could actually squeeze my fat fucking ass through to get to that side. And yeah, it went so good. I did a 148 linear feet termite job, full on, the full 60 gallons in an hour and 50 minutes.
That's fucking nice.
That was incredible. And you know, not to mention the perimeter quarterly treatment that they signed up for as well. Needless to say, I didn't have to do a whole lot of soil. But, you know, the foundation and ease off, softness and overhangs got their just desserts. It was a great day. So I woke up in an incredibly good mood. I attribute it to the Pepsi that I had with my omelet in the morning. And
it's got pep.
Exactly. You know, Pepsi gets you going. And I was just raring to go this morning, and the day did not disappoint. So I was, you know, it's one of those days that you rarely get in this industry, but when you get it, my God, hug it like it's a teddy bear, man.
You know, I got to tell you, first of all, termite work is very close to my heart because that's how I started, and I love doing termite jobs. I always have, no matter how big, how much of a pain in the ass it is to drill. I love doing termite work. And I was always in that kind of mood when I'd get because when I worked for Schmerlich, they were of the mind that a termite guy should do one termite job a day. Mm-hmm. So unless it was like a partial, and, you know, if it was like less than $500, they'd send me out to just to at least get another one started. Right. But I was like, you know, I'd have days like, oh man, this is going to be gravy, and my ass is going to get home. I'm going to get paid on the money, and I'm going to be home at like 2. And that's fucking awesome. Yeah. So termite work, I always kind of felt peppy when I was going. I have to ask, did the concrete drill like butter? Did it drill like butter?
Was it like butter? It was like butter. A really good part of this, their front door had a stoop on it, and I was like, well, fuck my life, I'm gonna have to drill this. And I was looking at, wait a minute, this is one of those precast aftermarket stoops. I was able to just get on my knees and pull that fucker out. Yeah, there was a sidewalk underneath it, but it was about the thickness of a fucking saltine cracker, man. It's like my tail just popped right through it, and it's like, I don't even have to fucking plug this. I just have to push the stoop back up there, and then what do you know? It's covered. And so, yeah, I drilled a total of 8 holes on this job, and you know, the deck boards being pulled away already, and, you know, the soil being sweet and soft, like, you know, like crumbled up cake. I mean, God damn. The only bad part about this job today, Jack, was the fucking neighbor. The neighbor was fucking hilarious. But, you know, I would have really enjoyed conversing with this guy had I felt like I had the time. You know, the deal was, it's Friday. I have one termite job on my route, and when I get done with this, I'm done for the week. So I want to get the fuck out of there, right? So this guy comes up. Yeah, this guy comes up, and he's like, do you know Bill? And by Bill, we are referring to William the Merciful, the all-powerful and all-loving owner of the pest control company I work for.
A fine gentleman.
a fine gentleman, a hail fellow well met. But anyway, I said, yeah, I've known him for about 20 years, blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, I grew up with it. And I was like, okay, cool. Good for you. He goes, yeah, I live right next door to the house you're doing. I said, good. So then he proceeded to talk with me for about another 5 to 10 minutes while his car is in the middle of the road. He's got 2 other cars behind him looking
Jesus Christ.
wanting to get out of there. They're being cool about it because it's Beech Grove and everybody's laid back in Beech Grove. But, they didn't honk or nothing. But I was ready for this guy to fucking end it so he can get back in his house and I can finish the job, because we all know when we're doing soil treatment, we're sticking it in and counting to 10. Now, we can't stick it in and count to 10 when we got somebody fucking talking to us.
You soak it. You're soaking it.
Yeah, you're soaking it. You
put it in there and just let it.
You're soaking in it, darling.
Just put it in there and keep it still. You're soaking it.
Yeah, soaking it. Yeah, I needed somebody to shake the house so I could get some actual movement. But anyway, so this guy fucking finally gets done with his shit and he drives off. Well, he's driving to the back of his house. I'm on the side of the house doing the treatment while the house that the dirt that he shares. He fucking comes back out on his front porch and wants to talk to me again. Yeah, I grew up. We were kids when we were little boys. Why don't you talk to him about the picture of his mom getting soaked with his? He took a piss on his mom when she was changing his diaper. I was like, well, get the fuck out of here, man. So he's like, and he just keeps talking, right? And I'm just like trying to get this fucking shit done. I was like, oh God, let me just finish the side of the house so I can get over to the other side, so I can get away from this guy. And, he goes into his house. It's like, okay, good. And then, so I get onto the opposite side of the house that I'm treating, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see some movement. I look up. He's standing there. I jump.
Oh,
and
Jesus
he's
Christ.
like, yeah, don't forget to tell him, ask him about that picture. I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, just get out of my life. I was getting ready to go over to Beech Grove Town Hall and get a restraining order of this fucker so I could just get this goddamn termite job done.
See, but by that point, your end of the conversation has been relegated to, yep, right.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
That's exactly what I was doing too. I'm like,
yep.
I'm sitting here, 1, 2, 3, yep, 4, yep, 5, 6, 7, 8, yep, 9, 10, yeah, move the rod. 1, yeah, 2. I was like, okay, this is not going to end well. The problem was when I got about 6 feet of treatment left. I'm fucking seeing foam come out of the end of that rod, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a problem." Man. I was like, fortunately, I had a little bottle of concentrate. I had some concentrate in the truck. I had a 5-gallon jug of water for backpack sprays. I was able to finish the job, and I maybe put a little bit more than I was supposed to, but it got the shit done. And I'm just like, son of a bitch, I'm done with this kind of shit. It's like, I'm just going to fucking, it's like, next time somebody fucking comes up to me when I'm doing a termite job and they say, hey, do you know? I was like, get the fuck away from me.
Oh, I've stood on the opposite side of someone's house when someone's out there waiting to talk to me, just like, I'll wait a little bit longer. Just go the fuck away. Go away.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of cheese bags out there that bitch about customers that come up to their truck when they're trying to get before they come up to the house, which, yes, that does suck. But my God, it's nothing worse than a fucking neighbor that wants to hold a conversation with you when you're trying to do something that, if you do wrong, could get you in a lot of fucking trouble with the state.
Oh, yeah. No, what you do is you pull that rod out of the soil just a little bit so it kind of splashes some. Go up, sir. You got to step back. Got to get back there a little bit. A little farther, please.
I did wear a little bit more Termidor HE than I'm accustomed to today because that one slab I was telling you that was so easy. Well, apparently there was some sort of obstruction in like the third hole I hit, and I ended up wearing, feeling, tasting a little bit of Termidor HE. But you know what? Not enough to really fuck me up too much, I guess.
It's better than finding an obstruction in the 5-hole.
An obstruction in the 5-hole is a problem. You are correct. But anyway, the day is done. I actually was able to get home at about what was it? It wasn't even 2:00. It was like 1:50 Eastern Standard Time that I was actually able to finish my week and finish on a strong note. The beginning of the week kind of sucked because I rely a lot on sales, and I'm on a commission plan, so things were a little bit low. We had a cold snap. The phones weren't ringing like they usually do in season. I get it. I've been in this business long enough.
Right.
But I was able to finish strong. I closed on a good sized bed bug treatment that's going to go next Monday. I got this termite job done. I got a couple of WDIRs out. It ended up being a decent week. I'll be able to make my bills.
And you just showed your age there by calling it a WDIR.
WDI. What are we calling them now, Jack?
They're WDOs, aren't they? They changed it to WDO.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Mine still say I. So wood destroying insect report. And
it's wood destroying organism.
Organism.
Goddamn it! But what's that form? The form number for?
Hey, Jack, have you ever had a wood destroying orgasm before?
Well, usually after I have my orgasm, my wood kind of goes back down for a while. So I would say
it's a temporary thing.
Yes, it is. But no, I guess so. Technically, it's a wood destroying orgasm. So yeah. I couldn't pass that one up.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. Tonight,
we got some good questions.
Yeah, I was going to say, this isn't the Brad's Termite Day episode. This is the Ask Us Anything episode.
Ask Us Anything.
And we did. Yeah, we put it out. We put it out on Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and we got, as usual, you guys are made out of questions, and a lot of pertinent questions, pertaining to our particular industry. Made it to the list, and it's really great. Like the one from AK George. He goes, AK asks, if you could make a sausage party movie revolving around the pet's point of view with an exterminator, how would you direct it, and why Morgan Freeman as the narrator?
Well, Morgan Freeman, that's just the given right there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a narration unless it's Morgan Freeman. So let's just get that one out of the way. That was a softball part of the question.
Exactly. Yeah, Morgan Freeman is the black Peter Coyote when it comes to narration, and that goes without saying.
Peter Coyote, that's the Ken Burns documentary narrator.
Yeah, and as far as directing it, Jack, I would direct it in the style of Quentin Tarantino. And it would be more of a Reservoir Dogs thing, where the bug would be strapped to a chair, and he would be getting fucked with for the duration of the movie.
Like someone cuts his antenna off while he's strapped to the chair.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that.
Or we would we would have a bee in a chair, bound and gagged, and when the GIMP was summoned, we would open the box, and out of the box would crawl Critter McCool.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that one with his little zipper across his mouth and everything. Definitely.
Yep, exactly. Where's Gimp? He's sleeping. Well, wake him up.
Now, see, I would go more of a Tim Burton style with that. Yeah, because I mean, if anybody's ever seen on TikTok or Facebook the little parody of Jack Skellington when he shows up at Christmas time, and the song goes, "The fuck." The fuck is all this shit? And he's so I can totally see that happening. Mm-hmm. And you have to have that same guy with that same dog that's been in all of Tim Burton's animated movies. The dog with the real pointy ass face. I'd definitely go Tim Burton for the sausage party for Pest Control.
Yeah,
because it'll be like just the tip, with your long rod, the tip. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so we've got one Quentin Tarantino and one Tim Burton. That's awesome. Hey, so Morgan Freeman is definitely the man as far as narration. So AK George, we're going to get both of your questions out of the way. First, your next question was, if you had to swap personalities with a cartoon character for a day at work, which one would cause the most chaos on the job, and why?
Oh, that's okay. That you ever watch Ed and Eddie?
Uh-huh.
Okay, mine would be the smarmy loudmouth Ed. That one. And he'd be the troublemaker because he can't keep his fucking mouth shut.
I get that. Yeah. Yeah.
And I like to think they probably modeled that character after me, but whatever works.
Yeah. As for me, I don't know how many of you all have seen the movie Easy Rider, and if you haven't, shame on you. They picked up a hitchhiker, and they were all sitting around a fire, smoking a joint, and just talking philosophical shit. And Peter Fonda asked this guy, if you could be anyone else, who would you be? And this hitchhiker said, I'd like to try Porky Pig. And I think that kind of transcends everything. I would, as far as the cartoon character that I would want to be for a day at work, it would definitely be Porky Pig. Because, one of the reasons is Porky Pig, no one understands Porky Pig when he's fucking talking. So I could say any damn thing to a customer and they wouldn't know what the fuck I was talking about. They just have to go with it. And, Porky always managed to get himself into some jams. And always at the end of it, managed to get his ass out of it before the credits rolled on the end of the cartoon. And that's basically how I've modeled my entire life.
And he never wears pants. He never wears pants either. And
he does not wear pants. Exactly. I can't tell you how much money that guy saves in laundry detergent by not having to wear pants and getting dirt, and Termidor, and piss and shit and all this other stuff on him. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say. I too, as like the hitchhiker, I too would have to go with Porky Pig.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I got one from Hunter. Tell me if I'm saying this right. Katuski or Katuski. Hunter asked our funniest wildlife story. What's your funniest wildlife story, Brad?
My funniest wildlife story would have to be the eyes in the crawl space. I think I've told this story before. I was out on a job and the guy was like, I need you to check my crawl space. I've been hearing some noises in it. And I'm like, okay. And he's got some mice or chipmunks or whatever the fuck in there. So I asked the guy, where's your crawl space access? Oh, it's in my laundry room. So I go in and there's a big square cut in the floor. And it's got a little handle on it. So he lifts it up and I'm going to stick my head in there before I see what's going on. Well, my flashlight wasn't turned on. So I turned the flashlight on and I'm looking around out of the corner of my eye. I see two glowing eyes at me, staring at me off in the distance in this crawl space. And as I'm kind of focusing in on them, those eyes start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a fucking raccoon charging me. And I was like, motherfuck. So I just slammed that damn thing shut and I said, you need a wildlife guy. I'm not your man. And, because we weren't licensed to deal with wildlife. So, you got a raccoon in there. There's not a damn thing I can do with it professionally or legally. So, I would have to say that was probably the closest call. I don't deal with a whole lot of wildlife, Jack. It's always, I guess I've just been lucky, blessed, whatever.
Right.
But I would say, but those two eyes haunt me to this very day. Cause I've seen what an extremely pissed off raccoon could do to a human face. So it's a good thing I got mine out of that crawl space.
Well, mine is actually, I have to pair this with Nicholas Savasta's question because it's a dual purpose answer. Because his question was the all-time best new guy story, and this involves a new guy. I was working for Eastern Pest Control, and I had a live trap set up. These people had skunks going in and out under their modular home. So they asked us to come out and trap them. So I set a live trap up And at least in Virginia, at night, if you're not going to be there to monitor it, you have to close it overnight, which I didn't agree with. So I'd have it set up all day and go back in the evening.
Yeah.
And I caught a mama and 3 babies in this trap.
Uh-huh.
So the new guy was in his own vehicle because I was going to go off and do something else, and he was going to go back to the office to take care of some paperwork and stuff. But no one was there to help him first thing, so they sent him out with me in the morning. So we get there. So we get there. He pulls up in his truck behind mine, and I walk around the back of the house. I see it. I walk back to my truck, quietly get a contractor bag out of the back, and I hand it to him. I said, "Go get him."
Yeah.
And he grabs the contractor bag, starts walking around the back of the house, and stops dead. He's like, "Dude, it's skunks." I'm like, yeah. So go get him. So you want to do pest control? Here we go. Let's see it. So he was trying to do it's almost like doing the pee-pee dance, the way he was dancing around, and these things are like putting up their tails, getting ready, trying to follow him around. It's like they were all trying to show him his butthole in unison. So they're all, and he managed to get the top of the trap and slide part of the bag, but the corner hung on the top as he was trying to get the bag over the trap.
Yeah.
And Mama and the fart squirrel got him.
Oh no.
Mama fart squirrel got him right in the face.
Oh shit. What is it about the face, man? They always go for the fucking face.
Well, I think maybe they'll blind you at the same time. When I used to run a hotel, I got a story about that shit too. But
nice.
It got him right in the face, and he was screaming. So he ran back to the truck, and I got a bottle of water and some paper towels, and he wiped his face off. I couldn't stand to be close to him. He stunk. Oh my God, it was bad. It was so
hell's bells. Yeah.
But he ended up limping back to the shop in the truck, smelling like skunk ass. So he quit.
I bet. I bet. Oh shit!
But I savored every second of that, and I really did. That was fantastic. So that was my best wildlife and my best new guy story, all in one.
Wow! Good grief! Oh man! So I got one from the wonderful, vivacious, lovely, and personable Candace Norquist, a 2-time visitor to Tales from the Crawl Space. Candace asks, what tool or object do you use or did use that's completely not for pest control but works perfectly for it?
My sarcastic answer is my eyeballs, because there's a lot of guys that don't fucking look. So.
Oh shit! Yeah.
No,
that's a very passive aggressive answer you have there, Jack.
It is. Yeah. But for me, a spackle knife. I'd use it because it has the fine blade on it. I'd use it for termite inspections and scraping off all the old when people think that they need to caulk with like roach bait. Which less is more, but they needed the caulk, so I'd have to like go to these apartment complexes and scrape off like a 1/4 pound of fucking roach bait. So I'd always carry a spackle knife in my kit.
Oh, cool! Remember, speaking of scraping off roach bait and shit, the roach bait that we have nowadays is great because it just kind of like dries really hard and it just like chips right off. Remember the old Max Force? It's like asphalt. It's like you couldn't get that damn thing off with thoughts and prayers, and you'd take your putty knife and you'd try to smack that shit, and it's like, oh, not today, motherfucker, and then it would stay there, and you think, well, maybe if you're in a commercial kitchen, you like heat your knife up and maybe just like peel it off like that. Even then, it wouldn't budge, but yeah. The new stuff, it dries hard, it gets nice and brittle, it just pops right off. Shit, sometimes I don't even need the damn putty knife. I'll just take my fingernail and just pop it right off, and it works like a charm. And, but then, of course, that begs the question, what the fuck is all that bait doing there in the first place? There's been times where I've fucking gone and I've seen entire, like, switch plates just kind of caulked around. It's like, oh, we're just going to seal the roaches out of this area. It's like, oh, my God, what the fuck are you thinking?
Don't caulk with the roach bait, damn it. Stop caulking with roach
bait. Exactly. It ain't caulk. If it was caulk, it'd be in a much bigger cartridge. So, and, yeah. For me, Jack, as far as the tool and or object I use or did use that's completely not for pest control but works perfectly for it is the lowly wire hanger. The wire coat hanger is probably been the most versatile that I've been
That's a copyright
used.
infringement there.
Oh hell, yeah. Go ahead and bring the lawyers. I dare them to fucking find me. Anyway, so yeah, I would say versatile. Yeah, definitely, because it is definitely a multitasker. You're going into an account that somebody else has done. You open up, say, a bait station Evo or whatnot. Yeah, there's bait in there, but it's just fucking laying in there because they were too goddamn lazy to put a bait rod there. You got a wire hanger, you got some bait rods. Just cut that fucker up, you got an instant bait rod.
Oh, that's for sure. You know, they're actually really good for unwanted pregnancies, too.
Anyway, so on the same vein as bait, we've got these problems with Norway rats that are getting so big that their heads are so fucking big they can't even get their goddamn heads in a fucking bait station.
Damn.
These wire hangers make for wonderful shish kebabs. And the thing about that is you can take a soft bait, say like First Strike or whatnot, make you a lovely shish kebab, and just put it wherever that rat is traveling. And of course, we know that because they shit everywhere, and they don't have to worry about investigating a large object like a bait station, try to stick their head in and try to find the bait and stuff. They'll go for it. And I do speak from experience because I've done this on several accounts where we just couldn't seem to get the big guy caught. And so I would make a shish kebab and set it in a very obscure area where I know that fucker was traveling because he took a shit there. And, in a couple days, the shish kebab's gone. They haven't seen the rat anymore. God knows where he went and who the fuck cares as long as you don't smell him. Problem solved. These coat hangers, these wire hangers come in handy for a whole lot of things, especially when you lock your keys in the truck, but we won't get into that. We can talk about, you lose your pin, screw that holds the trigger to your B&G. You don't have that. If you got a wire hanger, you can get through your day because you can always cut a little piece of that, bend it on both ends, and you've got enough to at least get your route done for the day. And then you can bitch to your manager about getting another proper pin screw there. Another one is even on the B&G, hold the thing that you put your wand in, the loop there. Sometimes those things will fall out. A wire hanger is perfect for that. And of course you're driving down the road and your back itches and you don't have a back scratcher. Fucking, these damn coat hangers are indispensable to have in your truck because God knows when you're gonna need something. And if your muffler falls out, say you've got an old truck, you got that as well. It's just so many uses for these damn things. And I would say of all the MacGyvery shit that I've done in the past, I'd say wire hangers have been my best friend.
Ah, very nice. I could definitely see the benefit in having, but don't get the aluminum ones. You got to get the good old steel ones, don't you?
You do, yeah, absolutely. With the exception of the bait shish kebab, you can definitely use an aluminum for that. Your when you referred to unwanted pregnancies, I guess you could do that too. But anyway,
they're more malleable to get up in those tight surfaces.
Malleable. Oh yeah, but anyway, I would say the steel would be my way to go. But in a pinch, aluminum's fine.
Let the record show I actually had you at a loss for words for a second.
There you go. Yeah, mission accomplished. Okay.
All right. Here's one I think you and I will probably see eye to eye on. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Hit it.
Edwin Valerio says, I'm on a personal break from fatty foods and I'm craving a sandwich. So what would be the perfect sandwich?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's only one answer for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Marbled rye with pastrami or corned beef.
Corned beef. Thousand Island. None other than the Reuben itself.
some sauerkraut on it. Oh man, some cheese. Yeah, fucking Reuben.
Edwin, we can't help you there. You're wanting sandwich to help get healthy? Fuck that, man. Yeah, there's nothing about a Reuben that's healthy other than the fact that it's got a really healthy flavor to it. But yeah, I the first Reuben I had was when I was a little boy, and I've never looked back. And yeah, there's not a better sandwich out there.
Yeah,
you got to get all your ducks in a row though. You got to have the right corned beef, the right sauerkraut, the right rye bread, and the right Swiss cheese, and the right Thousand Island dressing. Otherwise, it's just another sandwich.
I like seedless marbled rye on mine.
See, I like the seeds because I like getting that little burst of that flavor from the seeds, that the caraway. Okay. I like that getting that little pop, when I bite into a sandwich from now and then. And but yeah. The best corned beef is the kind you do at your own house. You go buy one of those corned beefs. Aldi has them, on sale every so often.
Oh, I love those.
You can stock those dudes up. Yeah, it's a brisket. It's already been brined and everything. You just get you some water going, bring it to a boil, pop that fucker in there, put a lid on it, put it on simmer. See you in 3 hours. You come back. That dude is ready to slice and is just waiting there, and it's wonderful deliciousness just waiting for you to eat it.
Oh,
and,
so
my
good.
God, yeah. And then a good go-to rye bread. I mean, there's a lot of little boutique places and bougie bread and stuff like that, but you can't beat beefsteak. Beefsteak rye. It's a damn good, solid piece of bread. And
sure, certainly,
and I don't know if you do this, Jack, but when I get a loaf of beefsteak rye, when I open it up, my hand goes all halfway through that fucking loaf to get those big slices to make my fucking sandwich. And the little ones are saved for breakfast because if I'm making corned beef hash with what the butt ends of that corned beef that I made, that's
a little sandwich,
a little rye toast to go with your eggs and hash, and is always good. But
so I make like a little corned beef hash taco. I make like a little breakfast taco with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So bottom line is you want to get the corned beef you simmer yourself, beefsteak rye at least, and as far as the kraut, silver floss or above, and Kraft or above on the Thousand Island. Marzetti is amazing on these. Marie's is as well. And as far as the Swiss cheese, Sargento or above.
Correct. 100% agreement with you on that one. We are the united Reuben sandwich front on that one.
Exactly. Edwin, I hope that helped you out, and we will see you in the heart ward.
Stop masturbating to sandwiches, Edwin. That's masturbation worthy, but stop masturbating to sandwiches.
Yeah, if there's one sandwich I'll fap to, it is totally the Reuben. Absolutely.
Good question.
It's a tater. Holy shit. Incitator comes to us with a hard-hitting question, and he asks, how many 8-year-olds would it take to beat a prime Mike Tyson?
Now, see, there's a lot of variables in that. Now, is he getting one 8-year-old every 5 seconds? Are you throwing a massive amount at once, like 100 to 200 at once? I mean, what's the parameters here? I mean, because if you like trickle them out, it's a never ending toddler bash. But
it is because he kick one of theirs. He'd kill one of them, and then he'd be able to take a couple breaths before the other ones came up, and then he'd kill them. And you're right. It would definitely be. I would say if we looked at it in the terms of, say, a fire ant attacking a cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it would probably. I think 30 would do the job.
I was thinking a lot higher than that. I was thinking.
You think higher than that?
Well, because they're all waist high or lower to Mike Tyson, and and I think that if he starts just flailing around, I mean, there's going to be a pile of bodies these toddlers have to crawl over to get to him. So with the first, I mean, I was going to go closer to about 75.
Mm-hmm. 75?
70. 75, 8-year-olds attacking them at once, because if they start biting and clawing and shit, someone's going to get his nuts. That's going to throw them off. And I think
that's where I'm at. And that's why I'm going to stand tall at 30, because I think it's going to take it. I think it's only going to take about 8 or 9 toddlers for one of them to find the jewels. And once the jewels are breached, it's over. It's just a matter of tidying things up after that, because Mike hits the ground. Iron Mike isn't so iron anymore, and then the rest of them could, the other 29 can finish the job.
But remember, he did tell Holyfield that he was going to eat his children, so there's that factor that has to be considered.
Yeah, well, talk is cheap, even in the ring. and so he's going to eat his children. He only got as far as the poor fucker's ear, but I'm going to stand tall at 30.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we are divided on that one. I say 75. Brad says 30. So it'd still be fun to watch.
Oh, hell yeah. God, it would be a fucking joy to watch, man. Holy shit. Yeah, that was actually a controversial. It actually did get a few responses on the depot. I'm gonna go ahead and go through a little of them. Rick Wilhide answered Issa by saying, "I'd say at least 100, right? I feel like his footwork, no amount could stand a chance, unless it was a war of attrition where they just piled on in waves until they tired him out." So yeah, I can see that. But the linchpin here are the testicles. So yeah, I would say, after about 8 or 9, one of them's going to find those nuts, and they're just going to blow them up.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, well, Yoko had one. Yoko had a question for us.
The lovely Yoko.
Is there any truth to the fact that the government unleashed the stink bugs and then unleashed those wasps after that to get rid of them? Not to get all political, but how involved is the government in this sort of thing and introducing bugs like that from different countries? Won't that upset the ecosystem? That I'm not familiar with the government and stink bugs. I always thought they came in at the Port of Philadelphia, the Asian brown marmorated stink bug. But I am aware of a certain university that started releasing phorid flies to combat fire ants. Because they'd lay the eggs right behind the head, and the head would pop off the ant, which is actually really fun to watch. But so I'm not sure about the government thing, but I do know that they have introduced species in certain areas to try to deal with another species. And I think they're doing like genetically modified mosquitoes now to try to sterilize the mosquitoes in a certain region to keep them from proliferating. Is that? I thought I heard something about that.
Yeah, I did too. But to answer Yoko's question, I don't feel like the government's that clever. I think that the reason that we're getting this stuff introduced is just because of the sheer volume of commerce that we are doing with the Far East. It was just bound to happen. I mean, we're getting a lot of shit that we really don't need to get from over there. Lumber would be definitely one of them. We got plenty of lumber here, but nobody wants to cut it because, we don't want to we don't want to disturb the habitat of the spotted cockfucker or whatever. We get it cheaper from there. China's like, we can supply this for X amount of dollars, just look at Temu for that. And next thing you know, something's riding across there. It's like, oh yeah, we fumigated everything. Everything's nice and clean. What a crock of shit.
Right.
Right. I mean, this is how we got the brown marmorated stink bug. This is how we got the spotted lanternfly. This is how we got the snakehead fish. We get, we're getting all this different types of shit from that because, we're saying, oh, you fumigated that? Okay, we're good. Yeah, go ahead and bring it in. Well, fuck. That
Australian cockroaches. Cockroaches.
Mm-hmm.
Those big motherfuckers. I watched one of them drag an entire bulb of garlic across the floor.
Isn't that awesome?
It was fucking awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past, to answer your question, Yoko. I wouldn't put it past the government, but I really don't think that they can think that deeply in order to do it deliberately. I mean, this is not a virus. This is not, anything like that. But yeah, I would say it's possible, but not likely.
Got it. Good question, Yoko. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Isitator, once again, decided he was just going to blow us up with this. If there was a movie based on your life, Jack, what actor would you want to play you?
Well, he just died recently. Richard Mole, who played Bull Shannon. On Night Court.
Nice.
Because Richard Mole, when he got older, he got gray hair and a lovely beard. So I think that they wouldn't have to do much in makeup to get him close enough to me. He's got a deep enough voice, and he's a little outrageous. So I think Richard Mole would have been perfect for me.
Oh, okay. As for me, I'd have to go with Ron Jeremy.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Damn.
Ron Jeremy, like me, he's old, he's ugly, he's used up, but, still managed to tear one off if he needs to.
Got to respect that. Got to respect the hedgehog.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, Richard Mole for Jack, Ron Jeremy for me. I would say, but to be honest, if I was going to go with a non-porn actor, it'd have hands down John Goodman.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
Oh, everybody fucking sees that. It's like every time I go out to do a pest control service, that somebody's going to say something about me looking like an actor. It's like, you look like that guy in Arachnophobia. It's like, okay. Okay, yeah, thank you for being the 8,000th person to fucking tell me that. But okay, very good. I can respect that. John Goodman's a fucking awesome actor. The Big Lebowski, he was priceless in.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Shomer fucking Shabbos. Shomer fucking Shabbos.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Hey, give me a second here, man. Hey, hang on, Jack. You take a sip here real quick.
Oh, shit. Oh, what you drinking? What you drinking?
What am I drinking tonight? I am in my snifter is the bourbon off hours whiskey from my beloved friend, cohort, and compadre, James Schultz. Schultz,
nice.
God damn it, I love you. This guy, this bourbon is distilled in Indiana, and we are both from Indiana, by MGP Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. This bourbon here it's got a light flavor to it. There's not a whole lot of sweetness in it, but it is one of those day on the beach type of bourbons. If you're the kind of guy that instead of sitting there with a drink with an umbrella in it and fruity shit, but you just rather have a little bourbon, this would be the one you'd want to take to the beach. Just keep the fucking sand out of it.
Very nice.
And it's delicious. And of course, my chaser is my usual iced tea. Mm-hmm. And this iced tea is being drank out of my beautiful, I'm staring at her right now, Paula Benedict tumbler from none other than Tony Spankler.
That's right.
Yeah. And as usual, Tony delivers with a solid piece of tumblerage here with the lovely rubber bottom. And it is just beautiful. This particular one accompanies my Liquitox tumbler, and but this one has the PCHD oval logo that says "Glove Up, You Cheesebags," Cheesebag Nation. This and of course Paula Benedict's beautiful face, gleaming eyes, and sparkling white teeth are gracing the most of the outer part of this tumbler. It is a beautiful, beautiful tumbler. It was a limited edition. It was especially made for me and Jack and the person that designed it. And it's wonderful. So, but Tony has been able to successfully and accurately duplicate any pesticide label, any type of, any file that you can send him, this guy can throw on a tumbler, and it is just outstanding.
Well, sir, I have to tell you, it's quite a coinkydink that you're enjoying your beverage out of a Queen Paula tumbler, because I'm happening to enjoy my Socialite vodka, which is distilled in Pennsylvania on the grounds of the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. with some lemonade in my Queen Paula tumbler.
Queen Paula tumbler, yeah.
Thank you, Tone Spangler.
Exactly. Shit, man. Jack and I have been wanting to get to drink with Paula for a long time, and tonight we finally get to.
Oh, we're going to make it happen for real, though, and she's going to grab her karaoke machine. She said she's got a portable one, so
good.
We're going to do some singing. We got to get her out somewhere.
I am so goddamn ready for that. Believe me. Yeah. Oh my God.
Whose turn is it for questions? Whose turn is it?
I'll go ahead and throw one out here. Rick Wilhide asks, this is a question for both of you, kind of a two-parter. Have you, as a grown man over the age of 21, ever shit your pants? And when was the most recent time, and a little background about said most recent time? Now, he's got another one. He goes, not as in, like, pushed a questionable fart a little too hard, but, like, had to throw away a pair of drawers over it.
Okay. Yes. I had German beer and Italian, from Italian restaurant, like real Italian pizza, not just pizza, but like the real Italian pizza. A lot of it on a Sunday evening, and a lot of it. And that stuff usually gives me the bubble guts for the next morning. And I was on the way to a job, driving down the road, and I felt some pressure on the back door, and I sneezed.
Oh.
And now, first of all, I'm diabetic. Second of all, I have IBS. So when I say the bubble guts, there's actually like bubble, toil, and trouble going on in my drawers.
And boil and quail and bubble.
Yeah, so I had a big mess of chocolate oatmeal spill out into my underwears. So I had to stop, pull over on the side of the road, and do that little Charlie Chaplin waddle all the way back into the field behind a tree, of which I kind of leaned my back against the tree in the squatting position so I could pull my pants down, grab my pocket knife, and cut my underwear off of me so I didn't have to unlace my boots and everything at the same time. I had a wad of paper towels. It was. I had to take a wad of paper towels and stuff it under my armpit while I was running out there. So I was doing a little Charlie Chaplin walk, got behind the tree, and did the little squat lean thing, cut my underwears off, and left them hanging for the tree for whoever the next fortunate hiker would be. So yes, I did shit my pants.
So was the transaction complete at that time? Did you like do the squat lean and finish the job, or that was pretty much it?
Oh no, there was more. I you know that aerosol snow that you can spray on like the windows to make it look like you got snow in your windows?
Yes.
I kind of did the aerosol chocolate all over the base. All over the base of that tree. Oh boy. I mean, it was so much that I actually had to slide my feet a little farther out because I thought the backs of my boots would get caught in the overspray.
Yeah, so, God. Yeah. I've seen videos of like hippos in the zoo and stuff. You know, they start doing that really quick tail wag, and then they start shitting, and then it's just like hits it everywhere. You know, it's like that's how a mosquito mister works, because they have that little propeller on it and the thing, right. And the shit shoots out and it flies everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that whoever designed the mosquito mister was looking at a hippo taking a shit, and it's like, you know what, I could market this, and so yeah. It's like, but Rick, as far as me, and I know this is going to be very disappointing and devastating to you, but the answer to that is no. I have never taken that sort of shit in my pants. Now I want to preface that. Now, when you said not as like in a push a questionable fart a little too hard, the answer to that is yes, I have definitely done that.
So you've sharded, just not shit.
I have, Jack. I have sharded, yes, and I will be the first to admit. I will also be the first to admit that the last time I sharded was actually tomorrow will have been 1 week since I did it. I kid you not, man. I am sitting in the prestigious Attila the Hun chair that the Rush Limbaugh left me when he died, and I'm sitting there looking at my computer, trying to piss off people, and I'm like, I farted, And it's like, okay, here comes round 2 on the fart. And I did. It's like, oh my God, damn it. So it's like, I do the Burgess Meredith penguin waddle to the fucking toilet. Exactly. And it's like, you kind of drop your pants. You try to keep your legs spread as far as possible so I can go ahead and, and finish the transaction in the place where God intended me to do that. And then I'm looking down and it's like, oh, thank God I don't have shoes on. So I can kind of like do that, raise one leg, then raise the other leg, raise one leg, and just kind of walk those shorts out so they just lay perfectly on the bathroom floor. And then when I'm all done, I step out of them, I pick them up, I take them to the washing machine. I ask my wife, what do we got in the washer machine right now getting ready to go? She goes, underwear. I said, perfect. And it's awesome in there. And then, I'm off to the showers. But Rick, that's about as exciting as my answer to that question gets. But it's happened, and it was very recent.
So you were now the official Skid Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
That's right, Skid Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch. You got that shit right, Jack. But you know what? I'm 59 years old right now, God damn it, and these things happen. So I am not afraid to tell everybody. I'm not afraid to let our 14. Yes, we now have 14 listeners know about this.
Everybody shorts sometimes.
Exactly. And all you young fuckers that are out there just snickering at that is like, that's disgusting. You just fucking wait.
Your day's coming.
It's fucking wait. It is coming.
Your day's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's coming like the 710 freight train over at Jack's house. It's going to happen. Yeah. God.
Well, Jenny Wilson asked a question that was basically just for me, but I like the question, so you'll just have to hold on a second there, brother. What was the pivotal moment that brought you to decide to create Tales from the Crawl Space? And I think I've talked about it before. It was buying toilet paper during the pandemic. I was watching all these old ladies do prison rules toilet paper purchasing, throwing elbows and shit, fighting over packs of Charmin. And me being as tall as I am, I saw one sitting way back on the top of the shelf, and I grabbed it, and I got out of the store with my life, thankfully, and got in the car and made a video on, I don't know if it's TikTok or Instagram, but I was like, hi, I'm Jack. I bought 1 pack of toilet paper, and I proceeded to say that, COVID is a upper respiratory, not a lower GI problem. So why is everybody buying every fucking roll of toilet paper? And a friend of mine from military school is like, man, you ought to be on the radio. I'm like, that's not going to happen. He's like, dude, do a podcast or something. So I started thinking about it. And the more I thought about it, I was like, that's one thing I know that I can talk about. And I've got a lot of fucking stories. So that was the pivotal moment, was buying toilet paper during the pandemic.
Awesome. Now, as far as what got me into the podcast is, I know, this was more geared towards Jack, but I do have an answer for that. And my answer is Jack asked me and I said, yes.
Well, to be fair, the first season we had you on for the inebriated termite episode.
Mm-hmm. And that was a great episode.
And you were on one when I was sick as a dog. You and our previous host did an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Together,
right?
But we called it like y'all's first date or something.
Yeah,
and it was such a great fucking show that the second time around when we decided to pull it out of mothballs, you were the only choice, man.
I was the only choice. I was the only one that said yes.
Well, no, what I mean was there would be no one else who could pull it off, and. Yeah, no, just you were the only choice, as in that's it's like with some movies they write a part for a specific actor.
Yeah,
that chair had your name on it before your ass sat in it.
Oh, you're making me emotional, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes even somebody as shameless as me needs a little encouragement and affirmation. So yeah, man, thank you very much. Hey,
thank
Jack,
you, Jenny Wilson.
Yeah, thank you, definitely Jenny Wilson. Hey, it wasn't just Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, that wanted to pipe in on this. We got a question from none other than Dirty Skittles, or was it G-Rex? I can't remember. From
Probably G-Rex.
From the wonderful shit that goes on in our heads podcast.
Love that show.
Oh, it is an awesome show, and anybody that anybody that's looking for a good podcast besides ours to listen to, very very life affirming. People that people that are go through some shit in their lives and are able to overcome it, or how they deal with it and stuff like that. These two ladies talk about it. This G-Rex and Dirty Skittles. They talk to these people, and it's just a great show. I mean, the other thing I can tell you is just listen to it. It's shit that goes on our heads, and they're pretty much on anywhere that podcasts are found. But anyway, they asked, how do we tell someone the difference between good spiders and bad spiders? Because the other person in the podcast is afraid of spiders.
Yes.
So
that's
Jack,
for sure.
why don't you? Yeah, Jack, what do you got?
Well, all spiders by definition are poisonous. Well, venomous. All spiders by definition are venomous. The ones that don't hurt us are the majority of the spiders that are out there. But I think you have to just close inspection. If you find it hanging out in your garden, it's probably not one that's going to bother you. And I think that's the one that freaked her out last time. But she had this gorgeous golden orb weaver in her garden, and it was huge, as some of them can be. And I think it scared the crap out of her.
Right.
You just need to familiarize yourself with black widows, brown recluse, because everything's a brown recluse these days, apparently. But
oh hell yeah!
Need to just familiarize yourself. But the majority, I'd say 98% of spiders that you're going to come across in the continental United States aren't really worth worrying about, and they want nothing to do with you anyways. That's my answer.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to echo Jack's response. There are no bad spiders. All of them have a purpose in life. It's like anything else, pesticides, people, all can be toxic, but they're also all useful if managed properly. And the best way to manage a spider properly is to leave it the hell alone. Let it go about its business. Now, if you're walking through your house and a spider web gets in your face, it's annoying as fuck. Yeah, deal with that. That's just a spider that's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Usually if I find a spider in my house and I'm not naked standing in the shower or anything like that, I will go ahead and try to catch that dude and set it back outside. Now, if I'm getting ready to step in the shower, I'm buck naked, as that water's running, I see a spider in the shower. Yeah, that spider's fucking dead. It's like
going down the drain.
It obviously carries some genetic material that makes it incredibly stupid to be in my shower. So yeah, it needs to go. I'm doing the species a favor by dispatching that one. But
Darwinism at its finest.
Exactly.
Darwinism. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there are really no bad spiders. Spiders are responsible for the death of more insects than we as pest control professionals can do in our lifetimes. The same goes with bats and things like that. These things are here for a reason. So we want to kind of leave them there. We want to give them a wide berth when we need to. I'm not saying, just let it crawl all over you or anything like that. But, if you see, if you're picking a tomato off your tomato plant, 2 feet away from you is a spider web, but there's no tomatoes there that you need to pick, just leave it alone and let it do its fucking job. Pick your tomato and get on with your life. You'll be happy you did, because that spider is going to sit there and kill a lot of bugs. It's going to be fucking with your tomatoes.
And that's for sure.
And the only thing as far as anyone's fear of spiders, it's really not a whole lot we can do. Jack and I are just two drunks that get together and talk to each other every Friday. So I would say the best thing to do is just kind of remember that you're here on this earth for a reason. The universe put you here for a purpose, and The same thing goes with that spider. So respect each other.
Yep. Amen. That's the truth. And remember that the size of the pest is in direct proportion to the fear of the pest. So could be a little spider, but if you're scared shitless of it, it might as well be, a tarantula. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got you. So, Katrina Bourgeon. Katrina, God, we love you, man. You always come up with some of the best shit. Tell us about the time you farted or got away with farting in front of a customer. What did you do to cover up your farts? Or did you fart proudly like Benjamin Franklin?
Well, I usually fart proudly and loudly.
Because you are a member of Fart Pride.
Yes, I am. Yes, I most certainly am.
Absolutely. Yep.
I've made it a point at certain commercial accounts when I'm going through the admin area, because all the women that work in the admin area and men, I'm not trying to be weird here. Oh my God, I saw this bug here like 3 years ago. I need you to spray my whole cubicle. So I'll get that work done as I'm walking back out. I'll crop dust the entire admin area, and so yeah, I make a habit of doing that. I'll actually hold it in until I'm cramping up, and kind of eke it out as I'm walking back out of the admin area.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, I'm at the age right now that I can fart at any time, and I have very little control over it. There's times that I do, but there's sometimes that I'm just talking to somebody, and it happens. And when that happens, the best thing that you can do is maintain eye contact, and if you see some sort of facial reaction from the person that you're dealing with, from the fart, the only thing you can really do is best thing to do is to just kind of maintain eye contact, kind of drop your eyebrows just ever so slightly, and just give that quick nod, from the downward nod and then back up, and just kind of quick, just boom, like it's a tick, and just kind of look at them, do that nod, and then continue your conversation. Because let's face it, man, this is just a fucking natural human function, and sometimes they do it, but you get to a point where you're not in the frat anymore, and it just happens. So
it does.
the best thing to do is just maintain eye contact to maintain your dominance, and give that quick nod and just get on with your life. They're either going to laugh or they're just going to nod back, and because there's they fart uncontrollably too. It's just one of those things, we just deal with it anymore. And there's a lot worse things. A lot worse things you could do, other than farting in front of somebody. I got that takes me back to one of my favorite stories, and I know I've told this several times on here, but God damn it, I'm going to tell it again. I was at an account, and this was a long time ago. An account in downtown Indianapolis. I was doing the service, and there's a couple of vacant offices, and I feel one brewing, right? And I'm just like, okay, it's now or never. So I duck into one of these empty offices, turn on the light, proceed to do the service, and I just let that fucker fly. And it was loud and proud. And I'm just like, thank God I'm in this vacant office. Well, I walk back out, and apparently there's an intercom system, and that fucking fart, I guess, was heard by the front office people and two of the company president's offices, and I was met with a round of applause when I got out of those offices, and it was one of the most embarrassing and yet beautiful moments of my career.
Brad Harvey puts the ass in broadcast.
It was fucking hilarious. I mean, my face was beet red when that came out, and they started applauding, and they let me know that it's like, we heard that. And I was just like, she goes, don't worry about it. So like, shit. It was a hell of a day.
Oh man, I wish I would have been a fly on the wall for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. If you were a fly on the wall, you would have been knocked out, man. Because not only was it loud, it was pretty pungent as well. So fortunately, they didn't smell it.
You can blame it on the dog if they have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
A little spritz of orthene aerosol will cover up any fart smell.
That's true.
Or at least you can blame it on the orthene. Just kind of, wave it under the nose, the end of the can. Like, ah! So,
Yeah.
So there are things you can do.
They should have just not bothered with naming that product orthene and just named it dog. It's the dog.
Dog fart.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out that trusty can of dog fart. Take care of this.
Unfortunately, the name dog fart has already been taken, but we won't get into that. All right.
Oh boy.
We got time for one more, Jack. This is from Victor Charles DeBoll, Cheesebag, and a former employee of mine at the Scarlet Letter. Victor, if you're listening, and you fucking better be listening, miss you, man. It was great working with you, and I really enjoy what you're doing with your life right now, watching you grow as a person, and
nice.
Just know that I'm proud of you at whatever you do. But he asks, worst and best trainee stories.
Okay.
Yeah. You got one?
Well, I did the new guy story for the best one, for the funniest one earlier. That was my best one because I laughed my ass off for days about that.
Mm-hmm.
The worst one was just the asshole that went out and wrecked the company truck his first day out. So that's just, I don't have much of a fantastical story for that, but it's just bad day. I was out running a route anyways as a branch manager because I was down a man. I get this guy, he said he had some pest control experience. I'd rode with him for a few days. And then I was like, all right, man, go out and get it done. Simple route, mostly exteriors. Went out and just wasn't paying attention and just totaled the fucking truck. He was fine. Truck wasn't though. So that sucked.
Oh shit. I would say my worst training story was a couple years ago. I had hired someone at the Scarlet Letter, and I sent him out to train with someone that we affectionately call Pappy. I didn't hear anything for like about 3 weeks from Pappy about this guy, so I figured everything was going good. And then one day I went up to Pappy and I said, "Okay, I'm getting ready to turn this guy loose on a route, but I'm going to run with him tomorrow, just kind of see what's going on with him and see how he's doing." And then he leans over to my desk. He goes, "This guy's a piece of shit." And he starts rattling all this stuff. He's got an attitude. It's like every time I try to tell him something, he gets a fucking attitude and tells me bullshit. Don't fucking come up to me like that and everything. I was like, "Pappy, why didn't you fucking tell me about this shit earlier?" I said, "All right." I said, "I'm going to go out with him tomorrow and see for myself." So I go out with the guy. We are on our first stop. Okay. I get in there. He's, we're checking bait station. I'm having him check bait stations. I'm kind of sitting back and kind of just shadowing him. I'm not, he's been at this for 3 weeks. I want to see what he knows. And, he's missing bait stations or state, he's missing traps left and right. This was actually a large scale Prussian grocery store chain that we were at. And, he was just missing all kinds of shit. And, every time I would point it out, okay, I got that. And by the last one, we're getting ready to leave the back room and go into the sales floor and do our inspection there. I said, "Did you get everything?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what about the one we're standing at right now that you didn't check? What about the one two traps down that you didn't check?" He goes, Don't be bitching at me about this stuff. Don't be getting attitude. You're getting attitude with me. He goes, "You're getting attitude with me. You want to just take me back to the office? You just want to end this now, take me back to the office?" I said, "Yes, I do." So, okay, that's like, get in the truck. So I took him into the truck. I dropped him off at his car at the office, and I said, "You're done." And he fucking bounces out into that. I had to go finish the damn job. And so I drive back up to this Prussian grocery store, and I finished it. I don't say anything to anybody. I walk in and I finish the inspection. I run the ticket, and I go up to the manager, and the manager says, "I saw everything." I said, "Oh." He goes, "No, don't worry about it." He goes, "I deal with this shit too." He goes, "You do the right thing." I said, "Why, thank you, sir. Sign here." So I was like, oh my God, that was probably the worst, most embarrassing experience I have had with a technician. Another one, that I could tell you about techs that had already been out of training and then ended up fucking shit up, but I'm not going to go into that. And as far as the best training experience, would be the guy that we hired at the Big Green Tea. It was probably a good 15, 20 years ago. And I got to drive around with him, and, he pretty much, he'd come from another company and he knew his stuff. He was really good with the customers. He was funny. He was smart. He made me laugh. And that's important right there. I will keep a technician around if he makes me laugh because I'm petty. But he ended up being one of the best technicians there. I could always count on the guy. He had a couple rough spots. We worked through him. We worked through him by him doing what he needed to do and me being a dick because, hey, at the time I was a manager and, I was a dick. Mm-hmm. But, and then, I moved on to a different branch. He decided to open his own company. I decided to stick around in corporate America and try to climb up the ladder. I got so high on the ladder and decided I didn't want to do this anymore. And then when I got to a point in my situation where I didn't know what I was going to do about this, I felt like I was trapped. I was stuck there. And I talked to this guy, while I was at that point, and, we'd stayed in contact. And, by that time he'd been in the business, he'd been on his own for about, 15, 20 years. And he was talking about the problems that he was having finding good people. And I told him, I said, hey man, I said, I know a guy. I said, he's old, he's fat, and he hates working Saturdays. I said, but he's a good tech. He goes, well, bring him to me. I said, I just did. It's me. And he goes, well, let's meet and talk about this if you're serious. So we got together over a steak and some drinks, and we hammered something out. And so I was able to join with him, and it was probably the best decision I've made in a long time. And William the Merciful, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that opportunity you gave me.
Nice. Very nice.
So, but yeah, that was my best training experience right there. And, to know that he thought enough of me to give me a chance to come back into the snake pit that is being a technician, was awesome. And it's a debt I'll never repay.
Very nice. Well, I have to tell you, when the story started coming together, I'm like, oh, it all came around full circle. So that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I know we're running long, and we're
Fuck actually it, man. This is our show.
Hell yeah! But and no one actually submitted a "you can suck it" story, but I wanted to make a generalization from an observation as a "you can suck it."
And now it's time for the "You Can Suck It" story of the day.
Now it's just a quick comment about if you're on the Pest Control Humor Depot,
my favorite group,
and you go telling tales at a school about someone else on the depot to your boss to get people in trouble, you can suck it.
You can totally suck it.
Throat it all the way down until it touches the little dangly thing at the back of your throat, as what's your fuck face used to say for that wop shit. But you can like juggle the balls while you're doing it when you're sucking it. So yeah, you can just all the way suck it, fuck face.
Yeah. I hope you're treating a teenager's room for bed bugs and you trip over your own feet and land face first into his freshly used jizz wall.
I hope all you smell is vomit all day, every day. and never get used to it. Just smelling vomit all the time.
I hope you're driving 2 hours to your next stop, and 45 minutes into the drive on the interstate, you get an itch in your taint that you can't reach.
I hope you have to service old nursing homes every day for the rest of your career.
Fucking A. So, anyway, so Jack, what are we doing next week?
I don't know. We're working on an owner operator episode. That's going to be good.
I think so. No?
How about I've been wanting to do the off topic show about people's hobbies and stuff.
That would be a great one. So that way we can get our guys together for the owner operator maybe in a couple weeks. Let's do the off topic. That would be outstanding. We'll put a post on Pest Control Humor Depot. You want to talk about what you do to either decompress from this thing of ours, or to get away from it entirely, or if it's got even something to do that's related to pest control. I know some of you folks like to do things like, keep strange exotic insect pets and stuff like that. We'd love to hear about it. We would love to hear about it. So, so we'll get something up here in the next couple days for to reach out to you guys for your hobbies and ways to deal with the universe. And we're looking forward to hearing about them.
I already know what Issa Tater's answer is going to be.
Oh my God, it's going to have to do something with feet or sex or something. But
it's going to be get money, fuck bitches. It's going to be get money, fuck bitches. That's what Issa Tater
fuck does. Bitches. Yeah, it's like people. That's like that meme I saw. It's like some chick going, "You don't know my story." It's like, yes, I do. It's method dicks. It's always method dicks. that kind of describes Issa Tater to a T.
Yeah, he's quite a little hoe. That's for sure. He's a lovable hoe.
Exactly. So, hey guys, thanks for listening. It's been a hell of a show. I really appreciate Jack and I really appreciate all of the questions that you gave us, and I hope we answered them to your approval. And if we didn't, you too can suck it. So, hey, look for us next week on on the off hours episode. And on behalf of Jack and myself, Pest Control Humor Depot, you could bug the hell off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. You can find us on just about every single podcast outlet there is online. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll have a new episode next week. Don't forget, you can find us on Instagram at TFTC Podcast, on Twitter at Crawlspace Tales, and you can also find us on Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot. See you next week.